How many of you here have watched an F1 race, a highlight, or at least the F1 movie that Brad Pitt had starred in? Can you at least raise your hands? Oh, quite a lot of you have seen it, huh? Have you had that feeling when you see that car for just one frame and the next frame it's just gone? No, it's very fantastic to see how fast a machine can be driven by man. Now, at first, I thought a powerful engine is the reason why that car goes fast. I was wrong. There was something deeper, something more to it. No, an F1 car is fast because of the physics it uses, engineering, the communication, the strategies it uses, and hundreds of peoples, dozens of disciplines, all working together with incredible precision. Now, that shows how connected that team is. That shows how extraordinary something can be when it's connected. Now, I had the same revelation during my learning journey. I understood that a great mind works just like an F1 team. A great mind is a mind where ideas connect, which normally don't appear for other people. Now, have you seen people who can do multiple things? Very intimidating, right? A person who is academically sound but also is very good at the sport that play. A person who is very curious about history but also asks questions that nobody can even think about. Now, these people are the ones who connect ideas that normally stay apart, and we call them the polymaths. Now, at first I thought being one of them is very hard or it's just reserved for a genius. But I was wrong. That mindset change happened to me over a very small thing. And that small thing was passion. Not the loud kind, the kind that made me sit and think, or maybe sit and made me learn. Now, my passion was not at all a mistake. It came from something else. It came from the curiosity I had in me. Now, whenever a problem or something especially very sophisticated came in front of me, I always tried to find a very reasonable explanation for it. When electronics come next to me, I always try to repeat piece by piece. Try to understand why was it designed like this? What was it trying to solve? What was it trying to perfect? And what are its flaws? Now, when you ask these questions enough amount of times, you change your way of thinking. You question every single thing that comes your way. And that questions turned into habit, and that habit makes you much more curious. Now, curiosity has a flaw. It will never let you stay in a single place. It will make you move from one subject to another, one topic to another. I had the same feeling. You know, I was a specific professional at ignoring my own cravings. But then I developed something else, a routine. A routine that made my passion alive for long enough so that growth can happen in a specific field, so that I can develop, I can learn. And it was a game changer. Now, my learning journey also came with a new revelation. Like we all thought, I thought that learning was a single road, but I was wrong. I'd see that learning is like looking into a room with 4 different windows. Some people might understand by seeing it, visualizing it, or having a visual explanation. Some people would like to hear it, like a great explanation from a great teacher would click for them. Some people would like to write it. Their own hard words would make them feel those topics. Some people might need to create it. They need to feel it. They need to build it, test it, break it. No, normally we think these people are totally different. But no, we all are just a blend of 4 of them. If you use them in the right way, if you use them in the correct order, you can learn things. You can understand things that you normally thought was impossible for you. Now, here's the thing with learning. You have to memorize it. We all have faced it. Exams. You have to memorize what we learn. Being a polymath has the same issue. You can't remember the skills which all you learned. I tried different methods. One of them was spaced repetition. You had to go again, revise what you learned. But it was very hectic, very hard, very time consuming. So I turned into something that we call as human beings best weapon. their imagination. No, when I learned something new, I always tried to imagine it being used. I always tried it being imagined, being used somewhere very, very useful. And it helped me to retain more memory. It helped me to retain more skills that I learned. Now, there are normal learners, there are polymaths. Normal learners just collect skills, collect learnings just like trophies. But a polymath is a different person. They collect skills, they connect them using a bridge. A very good example of that would be Benjamin Franklin. He was one of the founding fathers of United States of America. He was a very good diplomat, he was a politician, an economist, a scientist, a mathematician. Now, his works helped America to be the greatest country for the last 150 years, and they still are. You know, it was not the Benjamin's inventions that fascinated me. It was the way he used the subjects. He never separated the topics or the subjects into different boxes. He always kept them in just one box and let them speak with each other. And that made him one of the best polymaths to be ever born. Now, when all this connects, when all of this happens, something incredible, something surprising happens to you. The more you learn, the more your brain adapts, the more your brain learns to learn faster. Sometimes it may take you for 2 days to learn a skill, but after you learn more, it will take you much more less time. Now, that's the fascinating thing of being a polymath. Now, I'm still a student. I still can make mistakes. There are things that I cannot truly understand. But that's the fun part of learning. There is always a challenge ahead of you. There is always something great in front of you. You're not always in a dead end. But being a polymath has his or their own fun. When you become a polymath, you learn to open new perspective. You learn to open new ideas, new fields. And those new fields, those new ideas can create ripples that can change our lives, our future generations' life. Now, I end here with asking you with a single question. Are you ready to connect fields? Are you ready to connect topics and create ripples that can change entire generations? Thank you.